Hi everybody, Geraldine Rose, circles, squares, triangles, and diamonds. I've got another Christmas card from one of the hops this year. Our challenge this time was to use the colors mustard yellow, a teal peacock, a bright pink, and then a lavenderish pink purple. We also had to use geometric shapes, and we also had to use old stock from our stash. I thought that the Concord and Ninth Christina Werner holiday assortment from last year's So Very Merry classes would fit in really well. Grabbed out my obsidian black ink from Altenew, put that down, and because it's a pigment ink, I knew that my rose gold embossing powder would stick to it. I have the first tree stamped down. I'm heat embossing it here. Now I'm going to go back in with my other layers. Because I'm building this up as a scene type of card, I'm just going to grab some satin tape. I'm going to stick it to the back of my hand and take some of the tack off of it because I don't want it ripping the paper up or then embossing up. And I'm going to go in with each of the other two trees successively and put them in place, repeating the same steps. Anti-static powder, obsidian black ink, stamp it down, bring it back, put the rose gold over top of it after pulling the masking off, doing that second layer right now. You can see that one of them I've got the snowflakes on, another one I have got the stripes on, and this last one I'm going to pull out the little circle stamps from that set and I'm going to put those on because I'm also incorporating those as part of my geometric shapes. I'm going to bring in squares, I'm going to bring in circles, I'm going to bring in diamonds at one point, and the snowflakes, I'm using them just because it's Christmas time. There's the last tree going down. And that one was smaller, so I set it farther back. You can see that I've got the biggest one in the foreground. We've got the middle-sized one off to the right, and we've got the smallest one in the background. And each of them, I set the bottoms of them a little bit farther back to give it a false sense of perspective that it was farther away in the distance. For the first tree, the one with the snowflakes, I brought out the snowflake stencil that was with that set and also the triangle one, and I put those both down over top. And I just went through with my colors, those 4 colors that we've got up at the top. Second tree, I just about forgot to mask that one little corner off. That one, I'm just doing a straight blend across it. And the third tree, I'm dabbing my blending brushes really heavy, and then I'm using them like a bokeh circle around. That will give it a circle type of aspect on it. All right, we're cropping it down. We're going to run it through our Derice. Old embossing folder that I've got, the Argyle one. I like this one for Christmas. Checking how the impression took. So now we've added another level with diamonds on top of this as well. Grabbing out an assortment of the bling bling. And we're putting on some snowflakes. We're putting on some circles in different sizes and some of the old square sequins that I had. I actually chopped the sides off on those so that the little hole would not show. I don't like sequins with the hole in. I like just confetti discs. Now the inside of the card, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm color blocking using those same 4 inks again. I'm working with one color at a time. I'm using the blending brushes to soften around the edges. We want those colors to merge a little bit and blend into each other. It does end up with a bit of a rainbow effect. It's really nice. I was, as I said, very happy with how this one turned out, and you'll see it later. Now, I didn't think I had enough yellow because yellow tends to disappear. The snowflakes that I'm putting down, I'm just using that maple yellow for it to bring in that mustard yellow and bump that factor up. Small sub-sentiment going down there. I did darken that one up. Custom stamp is going down on the back. You might be a bit surprised at the next part. I didn't even add any splatter to this card. It was a Canson XL watercolor panel, so it had some sturdiness to it. All I did was put a bit of foam tape on the back of it. And then I put some glue over top of the foam before I was sticking it down to get some wiggle room. It had a bit of an edge around the outside. And that's all I did to bring a little bit of loft to that panel. I am grabbing out the Joy Sentiment, though. I'm setting into place. I had a lot of fun wiggling those little corners down on either side. I'm going to come in with the anti-static powder tool, give that a little dusting. We're going to put some Versamark on there and we're going to press it down. This is kind of a pros and cons situation that because it's a delicate sentiment, you want to press it too hard, but on the other hand, you're also still working with watercolor, which has little ridges in it. So you still have to press it hard enough to get that impression. Now, the other thing I did was I put the rose gold in the center and I put copper to the outside on the little wings on either side so that it would give it another slight effect that you notice when you hold the card up close. We're going to heat emboss that. We are going to set it very carefully in place with some tape, run it through the die cutting machine, poke her out. I can't remember if I did shadow layers for that or not too to build it up in the background. I might have. Setting it into place on the front very carefully, centering it, bottom third portion of the card. We want a sub-sentiment for the front. I thought I would play around with some of my old heat-activated foil. I got out another sub-sentiment from that set, ran it through the laminator, worked pretty fine, and then I just rounded the corners on it. So there's the finished card. Very simple for me. It was pretty quick to do, too. I guess the most complicated part was the double stencils and the masking for the snowflakes. You wouldn't need to do that if you didn't want to. Anyway, go have some fun in your craft room. Do some experimenting. Be that change we want to see in the world. Thanks to everybody for the subs and likes and comments. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.